At 0400 hours on March 17, 2026, the Russian High Command initiates what they believe is their ultimate masterstroke. Across the frozen mud of the Donetsk region, a synchronized wave of armor and infantry surges forward. Their objective is brutally simple. They intend to smash through the heavily fortified Ukrainian defensive lines, shatter the critical logistics hubs, and conquer the legendary fortress belt that has defied them for years. To the generals in Moscow, this spring offensive is a guaranteed victory, a tidal wave of massed troops designed to overwhelm the defenders and force a favorable outcome at any future negotiating table. They have committed their best remaining reserves to this single massive push. But deep within the Ukrainian command centers, operators are watching the satellite feeds with a cold, calculated silence. The Russians are charging blindly into an invisible meat grinder, completely unaware of a devastating technological trap that has already been laid. This is not just another battle, it is the beginning of a catastrophic structural collapse that will turn the Kremlin's grandest ambitions into ash by the end of this campaign, revealing a hidden flaw that will completely paralyze their military machine. Before we continue, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. The sheer scale of the initial assault is terrifying, intended to fracture the Ukrainian lines through sheer overwhelming volume. Over the course of just 4 days, Russian commanders hurl an astonishing 619 separate assaults against the fortified positions. They expect the weight of numbers to inevitably snap the defenders' lines, creating a cascading failure across the front. Instead, they hit an unbreakable wall of highly coordinated kinetic violence. On the very first day, the offensive shatters in spectacular fashion. By midnight, approximately 1,700 Russian soldiers are wiped off the battlefield, representing nearly double the daily average of casualties from previous months. It is an unmitigated disaster, instantly becoming one of the deadliest 24-hour periods of the entire year. The massive columns of armor, sent forward without adequate tactical innovation or modern electronic protection, are systematically dismantled before they even reach the primary defensive trenches. The expected rapid breakthrough violently transforms into a static graveyard of burning steel. The Russian military doctrine of throwing endless human waves at a problem is suddenly met with an absolute, uncompromising mathematical reality that favors precision over raw mass. The catastrophe compounds with every passing hour as political pressure from Moscow forces commanders to blindly continue the doomed operation. Over a brutal 3-day span, the casualty count skyrockets, with nearly 4,800 Russian troops eliminated in the frozen fields of eastern Ukraine. Within a single week, that number explodes to roughly 8,700, crippling the operational capacity of entire battalions. This staggering loss of life is not a result of bad luck, but a deeply flawed reliance on archaic, high-casualty infiltration tactics. Russian officers repeatedly send large groups of unprotected infantry forward, hoping that sheer persistence will eventually secure a foothold in the contested ruins. However, the Ukrainian defenders have evolved far beyond traditional trench warfare. They immediately deploy specialized, highly mobile search and destroy units that operate in perfect synchronization with advanced reconnaissance drones. These hunter-killer teams identify isolated pockets of Russian infantry long before they can consolidate their positions. With ruthless efficiency, the Ukrainian units isolate and eliminate the attackers, instantly collapsing any minor footholds the Russian forces manage to secure at the cost of hundreds of lives. The true architect of this relentless Russian slaughter is an invisible canopy of autonomous and remotely piloted technology hovering just above the battlefield. Ukraine has blanketed the entire front line with extensive, inescapable kill zones powered by the widespread deployment of first-person view drones. These cheap, highly lethal machines have fundamentally altered the geometry of war, completely stripping away any element of surprise or concealment for the advancing Russian units. The moment a Russian armored personnel carrier or infantry squad enters the designated sector, they are rapidly detected and instantly targeted. The sky buzzes with a relentless swarm of explosive-laden drones that dive into trenches, fly through open vehicle hatches, and hunt down high-value assets with terrifying precision. These agile platforms are no longer restricted to just targeting ground troops. They are actively hunting multi-million-dollar transport helicopters in midair, demonstrating an unprecedented level of versatility and lethal escalation. Behind the lines, Ukraine has successfully scaled its domestic drone production capacity to astronomical levels, potentially reaching millions of units annually. This industrial miracle means the supply of precision munitions now vastly exceeds the number of available operators. This relentless tactical pressure on the front lines is simultaneously paired with a deeply devastating strategic campaign tearing through Russia's vulnerable rear echelons. Ukraine has remarkably achieved near-total parity with Russia in the scale and scope of long-range drone warfare. Instead of merely defending their own territory, Ukrainian forces have aggressively expanded their deep strike campaign, launching sophisticated unmanned aerial vehicles hundreds of miles deep inside sovereign Russian territory. These long-range strikes are surgically degrading the critical logistics networks, specialized production facilities, and central command infrastructure required to sustain the spring offensive. Precision strikes are routinely wiping out sensitive missile manufacturing plants far beyond the immediate combat zone, severely disrupting the supply chains before the weapons can even reach the launch pads. By choking off the lifeblood of the Russian war machine at its very source, Ukraine ensures that the troops dying in the fields of Donetsk are fighting a war of diminishing returns. The frontline units are left starved of reinforcements, critical ammunition, and the necessary air defense coverage, creating a cascading logistical failure that renders their massed frontal assaults completely suicidal and structurally doomed from the very moment they cross the line of departure. The root of this catastrophic eastern collapse was actually planted a month earlier, entirely unnoticed by the Russian generals, who were blindly obsessing over Donetsk. In February 2026, Ukraine executes a sudden and vicious southern counteroffensive that completely rewrites the strategic map. Moscow has spent months heavily investing in a fortified buffer zone meant to protect their southern flanks and secure the land bridge to Crimea. They assume this sector is impenetrable. But within days, highly mobile Ukrainian mechanized brigades slice through the outer defensive belts with terrifying speed, recapturing significant swathes of strategic territory before the Russian command can even process the breach. This is a masterclass in operational deception. The Russian high command suddenly realizes their supposedly secure southern underbelly is completely exposed. Panic ripples through their ranks as the painstakingly planned buffer zone simply evaporates under the pressure of concentrated, technologically superior Ukrainian assaults. This rapid territorial loss instantly shatters Russia's entire operational timetable, forcing them to abandon their meticulously prepared offensive schedules and desperately scramble to plug the hemorrhaging gaps in their southern lines. This southern hemorrhage immediately triggers a fatal logistical dilemma for the Kremlin, violently pulling the rug out from under their primary spring offensive before it even officially begins. To stop the rapid Ukrainian advance in the south, Russian commanders are forced into a desperate reactive posture. They have no choice but to immediately cannibalize their own forces, frantically diverting their most elite reserve units and heavy armor away from the critical offensive axes in Donetsk. The massive mechanized fists intended to smash through the fortress belt are suddenly loaded onto trains and redirected hundreds of miles away towards Zaporizhzhia and the crumbling southern front. By systematically forcing Russia to dilute its combat power across multiple distant sectors, Ukraine brilliantly neuters the enemy's ability to sustain any coordinated, high-intensity attacks in the east. The Russian forces left behind to execute the Grand Donetsk offensive are suddenly stripped of their vital reinforcements, armored support, and veteran shock troops. They are expected to break the most heavily defended positions on Earth, using only fractured, severely weakened battalions that have been bled dry by constant redeployments. As the Russian combat formations are stretched dangerously thin across hundreds of miles, another invisible catastrophe strikes their command and control infrastructure, instantly plunging their tactical coordination into the dark ages. For months, Russian frontline units have illegally relied on a network of illicit satellite internet terminals smuggled through complex black markets to maintain real-time battlefield communications and drone operations. They assume this stolen digital lifeline is secure. Suddenly, the screens go dark. In a brilliantly synchronized electronic warfare and geopolitical maneuver, these illicit connections are systematically identified, geolocated, and completely severed. The sudden loss of these vital communication tools immediately degrades Russian battlefield effectiveness to near zero. Commanders are suddenly unable to relay targeting coordinates to their artillery, coordinate infantry movements, or receive live feeds from their remaining reconnaissance drones. Entire armored columns are rendered deaf and blind, driving aimlessly into predetermined Ukrainian kill zones without any central guidance. This digital blackout forces Russian officers to rely on unencrypted, easily intercepted radio channels, handing the Ukrainian intelligence networks a gold mine of real-time tactical data. Trapped in this cascading spiral of operational blindness and heavily depleted combat power, the Russian military apparatus finds itself paralyzed by a completely unyielding political mandate from the Kremlin. The senior commanders on the ground clearly recognize the unfolding disaster, sending urgent, encrypted warnings back to Moscow about the rapidly evolving battlefield realities and the suicidal nature of continuing the frontal assaults. These desperate warnings from experienced military circles are completely ignored. Instead, under intense political pressure to deliver a symbolic victory for the spring offensive, the Kremlin issues a rigid, non-negotiable directive. The commanders are strictly ordered to push forward regardless of the horrific human and material costs. This political interference forces the Russian generals to continuously feed their severely weakened forces into the unforgiving Ukrainian defensive meat grinder. They are stripped of all tactical flexibility, unable to retreat or adapt, forced to execute a structurally compromised battle plan that Ukraine has already systematically dismantled. The entire Russian military machine is now operating on pure desperate inertia, fundamentally incapable of reversing a collapse that was engineered months in advance by a vastly more agile adversary. The Grand Russian Offensive is not just failing in real time. It was structurally compromised long before the very first tank engine ignited. High-ranking Russian military analysts and seasoned frontline officers had explicitly warned Moscow about these exact, rapidly evolving battlefield realities. They circulated classified internal memos detailing how Ukraine's decentralized command structure and explosive technological advancements would render massive armored columns completely obsolete. But these urgent, data-driven warnings were systematically suppressed by a rigid political hierarchy desperate for immediate territorial gains. The Kremlin chose to completely ignore the undeniable mathematics of modern warfare, betting everything on the outdated strategy of sheer numerical superiority. As a direct result, Ukraine did not just weather the storm. They actively dismantled the fundamental pillars of the Russian assault through relentless preemptive actions. By systematically vaporizing logistical nodes and blinding the enemy's electronic eyes weeks in advance, the Ukrainian defenders ensured that the Russian military was essentially attacking with a fractured, uncoordinated shadow of its former strength. Every single Russian maneuver is now brutally punished by an adversary that is dictating the tempo of the entire war. This catastrophic stalling across the Eastern Front is beginning to look terrifyingly familiar to the Russian high command, echoing the massive, humiliating collapses of previous failed campaigns. The strategic landscape is rapidly shifting from a desperate defense into the perfect conditions for a devastating Ukrainian counterblow. As the Russian military blindly exhausts its final elite reserves in these futile, high-casualty frontal assaults, they are actively hollowing out their own defensive depth. Ukraine's complete parity in drone warfare means they are not just repelling attacks. They are continuously mapping every single vulnerability, troop concentration, and depleted artillery battery along the entire line of contact. This relentless, invisible surveillance creates a perfectly detailed, real-time blueprint of the collapsing Russian military architecture. The Ukrainian forces are patiently absorbing the blunt, uncoordinated strikes, waiting for the exact moment the Russian momentum completely shatters. Once the attacking battalions are sufficiently bled dry and their mechanized support is reduced to burning scrap metal, the tactical advantage will violently swing back to the defenders, setting the stage for an unprecedented and highly lethal reversal of momentum. The true horror of this disastrous spring offensive is finally coming to light, revealing the ultimate payoff that the Kremlin desperately tried to conceal from the world. March 17th was not just a singular bloody anomaly, it was the definitive breaking point that permanently fractured the Russian military's offensive capabilities for the rest of the year. By sacrificing thousands of soldiers and hundreds of armored vehicles for absolutely zero strategic gain, Russia did not just fail to break the fortress belt, they completely destroyed their own operational future. The catastrophic losses sustained in a single 24-hour period effectively neutralized Moscow's ability to conduct any further large-scale maneuvers. leaving their remaining forces exposed, demoralized, and critically undersupplied. The grand plan to conquer the Donetsk region and force a political surrender has violently backfired, transforming their most ambitious offensive into a tactical suicide mission. Instead of securing a dominant position, this catastrophic miscalculation has perfectly positioned the Ukrainian military to launch another major war-defining breakthrough. The dead zone created by Russia's staggering casualties has left their lines fatally brittle, practically guaranteeing that when the next massive Ukrainian mechanized wave crashes forward, it will shatter the entire Eastern Front entirely. The physical destruction on the battlefield is immediately compounded by a devastating psychological collapse spreading through the surviving Russian ranks. The widespread deployment of first-person view drones has effectively erased the concept of a safe rear echelon, turning the entire theater of operations into a continuous, inescapable kill zone. For the Russian infantry huddled in the frozen mud, the high-pitched whine of electric motors has become a permanent psychological torment, a relentless reminder that they are constantly being hunted by an autonomous and mathematically precise enemy. This is no longer a traditional war of artillery barrages and trench clearing. It is a clinical extermination of armored columns by machines that cost a fraction of their targets. When a $4 million battle tank is casually vaporized by a $500 piece of molded plastic and a shaped charge, the entire economic foundation of the Russian military doctrine shatters. The Kremlin simply cannot manufacture heavy armor fast enough to replace what the Ukrainian operators are systematically dismantling every single hour. This unsustainable attrition rate means the Russian army is rapidly degrading from a mechanized superpower into a purely infantry-based force, forced to cross open minefields on foot under the unblinking gaze of a completely dominant aerial adversary. This tactical paralysis on the ground instantly translates into a catastrophic diplomatic failure on the global stage, completely neutralizing the Kremlin's ultimate objective. The massive buildup of troops and the aggressive push into the Donetsk region were meticulously designed to secure vital political leverage ahead of international peace talks scheduled in Washington. Moscow gambled their entire operational reserve to create an illusion of unstoppable momentum, intending to bully their adversaries into painful territorial concessions. But the spectacular collapse of their spring offensive has completely exposed the hollow reality of their military capabilities. Instead of arriving at the negotiating table from a position of overwhelming strength, Russian diplomats now face a geopolitical nightmare. Their premier fighting forces have been systematically chewed to pieces, their southern flanks are heavily compromised by the relentless Ukrainian counteroffensives, and their strategic ammunition depots are burning hundreds of miles behind the front lines. The Grand Gambit has spectacularly failed, leaving the Russian military trapped in a permanently reactive posture. The initiative has firmly shifted, and as the frozen ground begins to thaw, the heavily depleted Russian units find themselves staring down the barrel of a technologically superior Ukrainian military poised to completely dismantle the remaining remnants of their occupation.